So I'm going to try to explain a little bit about what I meant when I talk about the media being the opposition party, that television programming is actually programming your behavior, the way you act and interact with other people. And so t- to explain this, let's look at me personally. One of the things that I was able to do early on uh, in my medic career was to visualize, to prepare myself for what I was going to get into. Uh, so you visualize the worst situation possible, that whatever you're thinking about getting into, and then you play out in your mind how you're going to see this thing resolved in whatever manner it's going to be resolved. And early on, I realized that in my mental portrayal of how I would be responding to this given situation I was thinking about, I would get forceful, emotional. Uh, I would get a little bit unhinged, uncontrolled, and unfortunately, because of my career choice, I saw that situation, and I learned very quickly that the way that I was mentally portraying my actions and how I would react and act to the situation to resolve it, whatever I saw in my mind's eye is actually the way I did it. Uh, you know, the bombastic forcefulness of the situation and being short and emotional and maybe throwing things around or whatever. And then once I noticed that, I started to replay the things in my head, situations that I was anticipating on coming up into, and mentally preparing myself with what I had just learned to make it not so emotional, not so bombastic, not so over the top in your face, and a more relaxed outcome, if you will. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, um, so I had learned that by seeing myself in my head do these things A to Z in a specific way whenever I would be introduced to the stressor that I was thinking about, that when that stressor actually occurred, my characteristics were like automatic. It was like muscle memory for the mind, right? You teach the mind with the images that you portray what it is supposed to react to and how it's supposed to react. And so once I got hold of that, I started to see better, you know, better results. Saved a few more people, you know. Anyway, television, dramas in particular, comedies, tragedies, all of these things play upon the mental imaging system that we have in our minds. Now, I'm asking you to accept the fact that you are being told through mental memory how to respond to a situation. Uh, Whatever the situation stressor may be. Good Lord knows there's enough drama out there for just about anything, everything you can even possibly imagine. So for whatever your stressor is or will come in the future or in your children's future, whatever the media decides the stressor is, they mentally spoon feed you how you're supposed to react, how you're supposed to feel, how you're supposed to treat the other person. They mentally walk you through the process. Every drama show that you see, every Law and Order, every angry man or whatever, Three Angry Men or whatever. I don't watch television, so whatever drama that you're into, they're giving you a mental memory to follow if you're ever exposed to that trauma. For example, in the movies we're taught whatever they decide. Let's say a gay man is being picked on by a Oklahoma Sooner. Okay? And then suddenly the gay man is killed. Okay? And the Oklahoma Sooner goes to court and goes to prison and whatever, because whatever. Well, even though that may not be your particular life, there are a lot of facets to every story that you could plug into each and everybody's life. You know. So, slowly, the television programming teaches you how you are to respond and act, and who's at fault, who's to blame, yada yada yada. It's all insane. And then whenever that stressor gets magnified in your life, you actually begin to act the way that you have seen it in your mind over and over and over. And this is why we call you people non-thinking zombies. You allow the media, your friends, your peers, your environment, you allow all of that to depict how you're going to respond, who you're going to go for, what you're going to eat, what your likes and dislikes are at. So, with this programming, you're taught mental memory, which allows you to go unthinking and automatically do something when you see this trigger, or when you're expressed or exposed to the trigger. That's what I mean. I sure hope that's been a little bit informative. I don't know what else to say. This is 7. Leave your comments.